Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to see about the axillary nerve. So the subtopics what we are going to see in this video are the origin of the axillary nerve, then the root value, course, relations, branches and the structure supplied by the axillary nerve. Coming to the first topic, that is the origin of the axillary nerve. It arises from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. So here you could see the brachial plexus. This is the lateral cord of the brachial plexus, and here you could see the medial cord of the brachial plexus, and then here you could see the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. So the axillary nerve is a small terminal branch from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. See, this is the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, and hope here you could see this is the axillary nerve rising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. So hope here you could see the axillary nerve. Coming to the next topic, that is the root value of the axillary nerve. So it has a root value of C5 and C6. Actually, the axillary nerve rises from the ventral rami of the cervical segments of 5 and 6 of spinal cord. Coming to the next topic, the course of the axillary nerve. So after arising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, this axillary nerve enters into the quadrangular space and then it terminates by dividing into two branches. So here you could see the axillary nerve. See, this is the axillary nerve here, this one. So after arising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, it pierces the subscapularis muscle and then enters into the quadrangular space. Hope here you could appreciate the quadrangular space, which is an intramuscular space. So here you could see the quadrangular space. During its course through the quadrangular space, this axillary nerve terminates by dividing into two branches. You could see here, that is the main nerve, axillary nerve. So after that, of entering into the quadrangular space, it terminates by dividing into two branches. So here you could see the axillary nerve. Once entering the quadrangular space, it terminates by dividing into two branches. We all know that one branch terminates on the teres minor muscle as a pseudoganglion. So this nerve, it ends as a pseudoganglion on the teres minor muscle. Then coming to the relations of the axillary nerve. Hope here you could see the axillary nerve. This is the axillary nerve. This one. This is the axillary nerve. So in order to have a clear view on its relations, I am going to remove some structures. So coming to the relations of the axillary nerve. Here you could see the axillary nerve. So in the lower part of the axilla, it runs behind the third part of the axillary artery. So see, actually the axillary artery, it is divided into three parts by the pectoralis minor muscle. So behind the third part of the axillary artery runs this axillary nerve. So immediately after arising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, see, this is the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. Immediately after arising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, it lies on the subscapularis muscle. See, this is the subscapularis muscle on which the axillary nerve lies. So here it is medially related to the median nerve. So here you can see this is the median nerve. Medially, this axillary nerve, it is related to the medial nerve, and laterally this axillary nerve is related to the coracobrachialis muscle. See, this coracobrachialis muscle, hope you all know that it arises from the coracoid process along with the short head of the biceps brachii. This is the short head of the biceps brachii and this is the long head. So laterally it is related to the coracobrachialis. Laterally, this axillary nerve, it is related to the coracobrachialis muscle. So, in order to show the course of the axillary nerve through the quadrangular space, I am going to remove the coracobrachialis muscle as well as the biceps brachii. So here you could see the axillary nerve. So it winds around the lower part of the subscapularis muscle, and it is closely related to the capsule of the shoulder joint, right? So in order to show that, I am going to remove the subscapularis muscle also. See how it is closely related to the capsule of the shoulder joint. So here you could see the joint capsule, which is strengthened anteriorly by the glenohumeral ligaments. So here you could see this is the inferior glenohumeral ligament, and here you could see the middle, and here you could see the superior glenohumeral ligament. So this space in between the superior and middle glenohumeral ligament is called as foramen of Weisbrach. Hope you all know that. Coming back to the topic proper, so this axillary nerve, it is closely related to the joint capsule. So after winding through the lower border of the subscapularis muscle, it just enters the quadrangular space. Here you could see this is the anterior view of the quadrangular space, and if I remove this deltoid muscle, you can see. So here you could see the posterior view of the quadrangular space, and hope here you could see the axillary nerve dividing into two terminal branches. So this nerve, this axillary nerve, through its course through the quadrangular space, it is accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral vessels. Here you could see the posterior circumflex humeral vein, and this is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So coming to the relations of the axillary nerve in the quadrangular space. So this axillary nerve, here you could see the axillary nerve. So in the quadrangular space, superiorly and anteriorly, it is bounded by the subscapularis muscle, and superiorly and posteriorly it is related to the teres minor muscle. Then laterally it is related to the surgical neck of the humerus. So this portion, this is the surgical neck of the humerus. So this portion, what you are seeing here, this one, this is the surgical neck of the humerus. So laterally it is related to the surgical neck of the humerus, and inferiorly it is related to the teres major muscle, and medially it is related to the long hair of the triceps brachii muscle. What I mentioned now is nothing but the boundaries of the quadrangular space. So as I already said, this axillary nerve in the quadrangular space terminates by dividing into two branches. One is the anterior branch and the other one is the posterior branch with respect to the deltoid muscle. So here you could see the deltoid muscle. Once I remove this deltoid muscle, the axillary nerve will be very much clear to see. So I am removing the deltoid muscle. So see. This is the axillary nerve, this is the anterior branch, and this is the posterior branch. The anterior branch, it is accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral vessels. So see, this one is the anterior branch of the axillary nerve. So here you could see the posterior circumflex humeral vein, and this is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So the anterior branch of the axillary nerve, it is accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral vessels. That is the vein as well as the artery. So this anterior branch of the axillary nerve, it winds around the surgical neck of the humerus, and it often reaches to the anterior border of the deltoid muscle, and it supplies the deltoid muscle as well as the skin over the anteroinferior part of the deltoid muscle. Then coming to the posterior branch. As I already mentioned, the posterior branch ends on the teres minor muscle as a pseudoganglion. And also this posterior branch of the axillary nerve in the lower part of the deltoid muscle, actually it pierces the deep fascia of the deltoid muscle. Then it continues as the upper lateral cutaneous nerve of the arm. So here you could see the upper lateral cutaneous nerve of the arm supplying the skin over the deltoid and lateral upper portions of the arm.